related. So what we have suggested ki now dual usability of the land. The first is that the land will be used as the same purposes for agricultural, and the same land is getting used for power generation, solar power generations also. And because of when we are putting all these things in a shaded area, it's almost like 50% we keep it in a shaded and 50% on that. So plant yields also increases, the water consumption patterns reduces, and all this thing. So whatever be these innovative technologies or innovative processes we adopt, there is a possibility of reduction of carbon emissions. So we are just counting these carbon emissions and ensuring that we say that when we say that okay, let's take these initiatives as one of your programs and one of your ideas. So for an example, we reach to these big corporates and we say that why don't you fund this, because the farmer cannot adopt this. So let's become and claim the carbon credit of these initiatives, and you earn based on this. So it's like the win-win situation for all. And when you are earning, so you are ensuring also your the return values got increase. It's not just only about selling of your electricity, also you are getting some extra benefits, financial benefits out of this carbon credit. And that's way these big guys are already taking and supporting these initiatives.
I see. That's very interesting. Now, since you have been in this space since a very long time, I would like to understand from you what is the requirement or need for the CSR, sustainability, ESG professionals in this space, and are you like just what is the requirement, and do you all engage with them?
It's very simple. We would say that everyone who just want, uh, to support this, environmental ecosystem, or everyone who is just having a feel, ki, yes, I want to give something for my mother. So they should take, and any projects can be counted. It's not about just just going on the clean fuels or the big mining projects, or no, nothing. Even like just placing and putting a tree is itself is an a big support systems which is there. So let's suppose somebody like the CSR company or organization willing to work on the water, they should come and they say that whatever be the water bodies are there, we are going to take up these water bodies as to restorations of these water bodies, restorations and rejuvenations. So like in a Puducherry, what we did it, we along with the Niri Nagpur, we visited that place, understand, we have taken the data from the departments ki how much water bodies are there. When and we just also taken the help IT and you can say that Google's and data from the various places, and we find out ki how much number of water bodies were earlier there. We have instead done also the physical survey and all these things, and then we have given a unique ID. So everybody has now the unique ID. It's like creating an Aadhaar card of water bodies. And then we have taken these initiatives ki out of this, let's suppose 516 water bodies, 10 water bodies should be rejuvenated and restorations. It's not about just like, creating a side infrastructure also. What are the channels? Because of that, the water bodies are getting recharged. So we have ensured that, ki these are the things. And we need support from, these big companies or the CSR or individual also. It is not about that, we can't say that an individual cannot contribute, or even like the or your organization can also support us in this, because these are the initiatives where we can say, "Okay, let's take up 5 water bodies, let's take up that even a one single water bodies, even in a city itself where the dumping places are there, we can take up these dumping places and convert these into one green parks, or you can say that eco sustainable park, even like supporting in a biodiversity." सो बहुत सिंपल सा है, आपने अपनी सिटी के अंदर एलईडी लाइट्स लगा दी हैं, रात को भी जला देते पेड़ों के नीचे गिर के। आप तो सो जाते हो, बर्ड्स कैसे सोएँगे? सो बर्ड्स नहीं सो पाते हैं, उनकी डेथ होती है बिकॉज़ वो रात में नहीं सो पाते हैं, तो उनकी जो डेथ रेशियो है वो इंक्रीज़ हो गई है। सो इवन जस्ट dimming off on a light or switching off on a light from 12 रात के 12 बजे से लेके सुबह के 4 बजे तक अगर आप करना चाहें, that is also on a just on a contribution for the entire ecosystem. So
Very well said. So, if you all engage ESG, CSR, sustainability professional, I'm sure you would have live projects for our students.
definitely, definitely, because it's not about just doing a project in only in one particular state. It can be done in a pan India. It can be done globally, and we just definitely look forward if all the associations and especially we can tie up with research institutions. Your students and your team can work along with us for spreading the awareness about these programs. You have given me opportunity. I really love this because of this. It may be because it's not because my initiative it is there. It's an initiative to support our mother earth, and we just want environmental concern is not. You are seeing this. Have seen the extreme heat condition. Now you are seeing the extreme water conditions are getting. Even Delhi is getting affected and all these things. So you know these initiatives, and even like if you are ready to just support us in terms of awareness and campaigning of these programs, definitely we would like to take up further more of this.
Sure, I'll write to you on this later. My last question to you is now, according to you, what are the knowledge gaps and interventions that our institute could bridge in the industry? I'm sure when you engage with professionals, you would want them to know some certain basics or certain things when they engage with you. So, what are the knowledge gaps in the present scenario, and for the future candidates who want to enter this field, what are the basic knowledge that they should have before they join initiatives like you, or they get into carbon markets, or they get into this field per se? So what is that we can train them on?
See, the lots of research and the documentation has been done by the various institutions or the individual at their own level. And if you look at like I recently met one scholar. She has developed water percolating bricks. She has done fantastic research related with that. She has done that exercise. Unfortunately, these are not taking up because of the reason, uh, the knowledge, the experience what they have. A scientist can do on a research. They can make the prototype. They can develop the product, but they cannot market it. you know it needs to be reached to an right place. So what we are trying to do it right now, okay, we have just asked her, why don't you share the details of your patented product? She has a patented product. So when we reach to her, she's saying, and why you are not reaching to another department and asking that you who whatever be the water body rejuvenation projects are getting done, these water percolating bricks needs to be incorporated in and these can be utilized for increasing even the water levels of our cities, and whatever be the we can it can also help in terms of flood reductions in terms of city flood. So whatever we have already concreted our city, so these concrete should will absorb the waters, and these things are not taking place because of there is a gap, and these gap needs to be filled by various institutions like you and the various scientists or researchers who has done their intervention. These needs to be placed in the right way to the city officials or the departments heads or that organizational heads that they can take the decision and get it implemented. I have also met various researchers and scientists. Very small interventions can make big changes on that. Especially like it's not about just one uh, technology intervention, in the process interventions also. So recently, like we visited in Odisha, and where these weavers are working. So when we have interacted with these rural women and SHGs women and weavers, we asked that how you do this exercise. So they are saying we are using the handloom practices from since almost like 70-80 years. It's our parental systems and everything. So we are okay, fine. From where you are getting these silks? They're saying, sir, sorry, we are importing. And it's very sad about that, our handloom saris are getting made from the imported yarns. The reason is very simple, because nobody is willing to go and cultivate these, like, the mulberry silk or whatever with the silk which is required, or the silk ankuns which is required for, productions of silk threads. And they are not ready to do this because of many reasons. And if we, let's suppose, want to do this, okay, let's in the next 40 hectares or 40 acres of a land, let's do the mulberry cultivation. It will drastically change that, the entire ecosystem of that particular zone, because we are placing so much of plant, we are ensuring, biodiversity, we are ensuring also about that, local economic developments, we are also thinking about, these initiatives. So these small things people understand, okay, it's only the big can be, no, no, no. So then we are asked, SHG's women, will you be able to take up these projects if we are willing to fund you, and will you cultivate this? She said yes. They have, these FPO and SHG women are agreed कि okay sir, आप हमारे को plant दे दीजिए ना, हम cultivate कर लेंगे. So these are the very initiative. It's not about that it's always be, we need big programs or big initiatives. It's always be, small, and but it's a, opportunity for that, every individual who can participate in this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajiv. Any final message and any questions, please do write it down in the chat box. And if you want to join the conversation, feel free to switch on the video and ask your questions. We really encourage that.
So first
Hello,
I will
Rajiv.
ask
Any
one question
final?
then.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, Mr.
Vinod.
Vinod.
Hi, Raju. Yeah. So my question is actually we are working in the R&D sector. Okay. So I want to implement the environment ESG. From that environment, I want to implement. So how can we utilize this knowledge and what are the we learn from the starting point of our production?
It's very simple. What we will do it, we will just map out these your process, understand where and what kind of consumption patterns you have, what kind of possibilities to reduce the carbon emissions and everything, starting from baseline to reaching to a final, how these can be, immediately done, and what are the technology interventions are required, whether we require some process management changes or anything, that is accountable. And so we will account each and everything, and then accordingly we will guide. And if you need further more knowledge and informations about this, please you can take my numbers and discuss with my team. Harsa has all the necessary informations, and uh, I would love to be a part of all these things. Anything which is required, I am really helpful. Really, I will try my level best to provide you the support.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinod, for the question. I see Mr. Joshi also has a question.
Yeah, it was a nice learning from you. And just one question about methane. As you said, methane is the main contributor for these carbon credits. So, is there any chance to, based on science, that methane can be used as a fuel, and can it be burned in the system? So, can it be reduced to the level, and
Yes,
it will be reused also, so there will not be any
yes,
pollution emission?
yes.
That is one question. And shall I ask immediate one, second one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, please, please.
Yeah, another is how this, as you said, knowledge gaps are there, and implementation is a major challenge. So
Mhm.
how SBTI is supporting for this? How SBTI is supporting for this?
Okay. So let me first answer this about the methane. See, methane. See, everybody is talking about the CO2 emission. Nobody is willing to even, our approach and methodologies for claiming from the UNICEF, either through the CDM mechanism or methane. Nobody counts. We have to even convert that into a CO2 form. When we say that methane, definitely, it's an opportunity as a fuel. So that's the reason we say that whether it's agricultural waste, if you are dumping just an agricultural waste to any place, it is going to emit the methane. Even like food, आप हमारे फूड में जो अगर आप 2 दिनों के लिए छोड़ दो उसमें से जो स्मेल आती है, that is also because of methane. And it's a actually very noble, you can say that it's a very noble gas which we can use as an fuels, because it's because of their properties, it can easily handle, it can so that's the reason, whether it's a CBG plant, we say that compressed biogas plant. Now it is getting used as one of the mechanism to capture these, as an fuel. Even for the solid waste management, whenever if we are doing this, what you call, I forget the name. Sorry, I forget the name. So whenever we are doing, in a solid waste management, like the biomethanization process, so where we say that we are just actually capturing these methane as in a fuels, and now it's already started, and many of the industries are now going ahead and taking these methanes as another fuels, and they are supporting in terms of capturing of methanes and using this as a clean fuels. Second, in terms of a knowledge gap, uh, definitely IICSR. Sorry, it's IICSR. Sorry, I forget the name. So this gap is there, and what we just need is that if we can develop some of the courses, and these courses can be taken up to another, especially to the ULB levels, where that urban, at the urban local bodies, or even for the institution, and these certifications or programs can be supported by like an IITs, where this 8 months 9 months self-learning certification program can be done, along with the research, which is research and the completions which is already been done by the various institutions. And this will create an entire ecosystem, including, because many every cities has now their own incubation, every institutions and those startups and all this, and we will just ensure that whatever be the process or the technology which is already done under research, has been already been done, can be now routed through these startup ecosystem, where the knowledge also, not, it's not only about the knowledge, it's also about transferring of technology should also happen, and it will become like in a win-win situation. For an example, just I have already mentioned you that the water percolating brick, the scientist has already done this exercise. Now, no, let's suppose we are going to create, one course which is about that, sustainabilities of the cities with water percolating bricks. And these programs can be initiated by your institutions, where we can say, look at this, we have this technology which is already intervened. Now this technology is also ready to deploy. We need a startup ecosystem. We will include, let's suppose, 10 or 5 startups in the various cities, and they are ready to manufacture these water percolating bricks, and they are ready to supply to the department. Then this entire ecosystem will work very well. So the knowledge transfer of technology, so ideas, innovation, and business, all three things comes together, and this we want, this initiative should be taken by.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajiv. We shall discuss on this separately after this call. Any final message to all our viewers, and what is the best way that they can reach out to you?
They can reach out directly through WhatsApp or through email. I will share. I will just ask you. You can share with them, and I will say that just wherever be the opportunities there for especially saving the mother earth, please do it. Even starting from your own way, like small steps, like आधा ग्लास पानी अगर आप पी रहे हैं तो प्लीज आधा ग्लास पानी ही लीजिए. छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो आपको इनिशिएट करना है, और आई ऑलवेज से हमारे पास दूसरी लाइफ या अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं होगी. वी आर नॉट श्योर वेदर वी विल बी एबल टू डू दिस. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम टुडे. PM has already started an initiatives we call एक पेड़ अपने माँ के नाम. So at least plant one tree which is there, and support these initiatives. Whoever is taking these initiatives, just start taking, and just responsible, as you have mentioned. See in your, I can see in your logo, it's mentioned about and responsibilities. So just become a responsible. Yes, I'm an ecopreneur. I'm not going to waste any kind of things, and whatever will be the best possible way, I will support these ecosystems.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. Really appreciate your presence. Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Mr. Joshi, for joining us as well. And we wish you all the best and looking forward to collaborations on the.
Thank you. So nice of you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Namaskar.
Harsha.